Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to each and everyone, especially those at the other side of the world. There is no time and space between us. There is only this present moment, and we are one. We now continue with the reading from the Diary of St. Faustina Kowalska. We are on diary entry number 1088. Sudden return of health. After I had written a letter to Father Sopochko on Sunday, April 11, I suddenly became so very ill that I did not send that letter, but waited for a clear sign of God's will. However, my health got so bad that I had to go to bed. The coughing racked me so much that it seemed to me that if this repeats a few more times, it will surely be the end of me. Biglang pagbabalik ng kalusugan. Pagkatapos kong magsulat ng liham kay Padre Sopochko noong linggo, Abril 11, bigla ako nagkasakit ng husto kaya hindi ko na ipadala ang liham na iyon. Ngunit naghintay ng malinaw na tanda ng kalooban ng Diyos. Gayunpaman, ang aking kalusugan ay naging masama kaya kailangan kong matulog. Ang pag-ubo ay napakasakit sa akin na tila sa akin kung paulit-ulit pa ito ng ilang beses, tiyak na ito na ang katapusan ko. So nakapagsulat pa siya, no, ibig sabihin, Faustina got well. Kasi kung sobra ang pag-ubo niya, on that day, she would not be able to write this entry, but because she was able to write it, then her condition got better. Yung title lang na parang Sudden Return of Health. So I was not able to think the exact meaning. Sa unang tingin, akala ko bumalik yung kaniyang kalusugan. Ibig sabihin, bumuti, umayos, no? Pero yung content naman ng kanyang entry, sinabi niya na sobra yung pag-ubo niya. That if this continued, that would maybe be the end of her life. Maybe the title is Sudden Return of Health. From that difficult situation, she became okay. Pwedeng ganun. But then, kita natin dito that even if she was already discharged from the hospital, but patuloy pa rin yung sakit niya. She really did not get better. No? Yung hindi talaga nagdire-diretso. Yung hindi na talaga bumuti pa o nagkaroon ng complete healing ang kanyang sakit. Kung kaya, patuloy yung kanyang suffering. Pagdating naman niya sa convent after being discharged from the hospital, sinabi naman niya ito na pagdating niya doon sa convent, diba, she was meditating actually nun. And she saw that her suffering would continue. That's why she asked for greater strength. Kaya, let us expect that this disease will last hanggang sa katapusan niya. So, it's April 11, 1937. She had more than a year to bear the suffering. Parang sabi ni Jesus, konti na lang na. Pero, pag ikaw yung nasa ganyang kalagayan, araw-araw nagkakaroon ka ng mga sufferings, hindi ka makahinga, ganun, no? Difficulty in breathing, everything. Pero ikaw yung nasa ganyang kalagayan, pag sinabing konting tiis na lang, matatapos na rin yan. Parang pag inisip ko, ang tagal pa nito, higit 1 taon pa, no? Imagine mo, every day, you will have to experience that pain, that difficulty of breathing. So it's really a big amount of suffering for her. But one thing for sure is that Faustina never ask the Lord for healing. Lagi niyang sinasabi na she would offer or she offered all her sufferings for salvation of souls. She had learned how to appreciate sufferings because she knew that this would lead her to perfection, pero secondary yun, ano? Primary reason is, again, so that many souls will be saved. Maybe souls in purgatory or the living souls. Both yun, ano? The living and the dead. Napakadakila kung titingnan, ano? Iilan yung ganitong tao na mag-aalay talaga ng sarili. Kumbaga, ito yung typical na or literal na kinarir yung pagiging banal. Kasi one of the components to reach sainthood is to bear those sufferings. Siguro tayo kung patuloy na ganito, sabihin natin, Lord, kunin mo na ako. Gusto ko na ng kapayapaan, gusto ko na maging ligtas or free from all this pain. Kunin mo na ako, Lord, I'm ready. Kasi, ang hirap, no? And that many people around you, masyado pang may hirapan din. Definitely, there are nuns. There were nuns taking care of her. Contagious pa naman yung sakit niya, di ba? Pero, wala naman akong na-encounter from the biography of Faustina na may nahawa na madre ng sakit na ito dahil sa pag-aalaga sa kanya. So I think it was contained lang talaga sa kanya. The disease was purely hers to suffer, to experience. Siyempre marami naman ng mga panahon na yun na nagkakasakit ng ganitong sakit. At ang mga time na yun, wala namang cure. Pero in the convent, wala naman tayong nakita o nalaman na kapwa niya madre na nahawa niya. Nagkaroon din ng ganong sakit at naghirap din ng katulad ng paghihirap niya. So, the suffering was really intended for her. And this suffering led to conversion of many souls. At magpahangga ngayon, no, ito yung maganda. Magpahangga ngayon, her sufferings continue, though it had been, it had come to pass. Tapos na kasi, syempre namatay na siya, no? But the beauty of this suffering of Faustina is that it continues to save more souls hanggang ngayon. Hanggang ngayon, nakakapagligtas siya ng kaluluwa. So yun, sufferings niya, although she had been liberated from this, but because she was able to reach the highest level of perfection possible for a human being, nagpapatuloy ito hanggang sa kabila. Papaano? Every day, kasama siya sa ini-invoke natin. Sa mga prayers natin, whenever we pray kayo, do you invoke Faustina in your prayers? Ako kasi kasama na siya sa ini-invoke ko, Saint Faustina. No? And especially for the healing of sick people. Though it was not her charism. Hindi siya katulad ni Saint Vincent Ferrer, no? Ni Padre Pio. Talagang charisma nila sa healing, pagpapagaling. Siya, hindi naman yan posible when she was alive, when she was here on earth. It was not possible kasi unang-una, paano siya magpapagaling? Siya yung kailangan ng kagalingan. She was sick. Siyempre hindi siya puwedeng humawak ng mga tao. So, healing would not be possible. Pero, kahit hindi yun yung naging karisma niya. Karisma kasi niya ay pagliligtas sa maraming kaluluwa. So, ganun din yung effect. Sa ngayon, when we invoke her for the salvation of souls, inisip ko nga ngayon, siguro kasama siya ni Maria, no? Pumupunta sa purgatorio. Like, yung unang entry niya, no? Some of the experiences she wrote on her diary when the angel took her to purgatory. Nakita niya si Mama Mary doon, the star of the sea. So maybe ngayon, parang assistant siya, no? Pumupunta kasi doon madalas si Mary, nagliligtas sa mga kaluluwa. Siguro ano siya, no? Sidekick ni Maria. Uli ka, punta tayo doon. Tingnan natin kung sino na yung ready nating tulungan para mapalaya. So she's still very active, just like Mama Mary. She's very active in her office and also with the other saints. Pero may mga saints kasi na talagang yung peculiar ba na hindi namamatay yung pangalan. Kasi halimbawa ngayon, may mga sineselebrate tayong mga optional memorial or yung iba, doon lang sa mga bansang yun. Di natin kilala yung mga saints, di ba? Hindi lahat ng saints kilala natin. Pero may mga saints na magpahanggang ngayon, ang lakas pa rin ang dating. Magpahanggang ngayon, kinikilala natin. Halimbawa, Saint Francis of Assisi, Saint Vincent Ferrer. These are the saints. Tapos yung mga apostol, syempre, apostol yun no? Pero yung mga hindi naman naging apostol, pero hanggang ngayon ay kinikilala natin. Saint Therese, no? Yung mga ganong mga saints. Yun yung may talagang malalaking mga contribution sa humanity. And hindi lang to the living persons, kundi doon din sa mga namayapa na. Yung level ng kaniyang inabot ay katulad doon sa mga namamayagpag na mga santo na magpahanggang ngayon ay kinikilala. Kilalang kilala. Ako, okay na ako kahit na hindi ako ma-declare na saint. Because I know that I will become a saint. Hindi naman mahalaga po kasi yung sa akin, ano, di man mahalaga yung recognition ng church na ito si ganito, naging saint, gawin natin yung saint. Sa akin, hindi yun mahalaga. Ang mahalaga sumusunod ako doon sa panawagan na maging banal para makapagligtas, makatulong sa mga maraming kaluluwa. Maaaring hindi ko inabutin yung inabot ni Faustina kasi talaga ng pambihira. Ang hirap-hirap ding sundan. I think I also said this in one of my reflections. Ang hirap-hirap sundan ni Faustina. But I will become a saint in my own way. No? Little way. Sabi nga ni Saint Teresa of the Little Flower. No? In our own little way. Kasi posible naman, no? Wag nating parang pag sinabi, oh, she would like to become a saint. Hindi po yan yabang, no? But it's according to each and everyone Lahat tayo iniimbitahan para tahakin ang landas ng kabanalan. That despite our weaknesses, sa kabila ng ating mga napakaraming kahinaan, napakaraming paulit-ulit na kasalanan, posible po na tayo ay maging banal. Posible na tayo ay maging kabahagi ng community of saints. And in the community of saints, isipin mo yung isang circle, no? Yung pumatak. Halimbawa, nagpatak ka ng tubig. May isang patak ng tubig sa isang mas malaking bahagi ng tubig. Merong, di ba, makikita mo yung bilog, no? So, may malilikha na concentric circles. So, ganun tayo. Saan tayo nandun? Sa inner circle, doon sa outer circle, no? Because it depends on how we did it while we are alive. The The closer we are to the center of the circle, yung mas maliit na circle, di syempre mas malaki yung liwanag na na-create natin sa sarili natin. But again, achieving this status of sainthood or perfection is difficult, napakahirap. Parang lumalaban ka ng isang world championship bago ka makarating sa world championship. Ang dami mong dadaanan na training, failures, success, sa small levels, pataas ng pataas. And it really needs constancy of aim and effort. Sana maging ganun tayo sa kabila ng ating mga nararanasan araw-araw na nagpapahina sa atin. Minsan bumabagsak tayo, napapagod, nagrereklamo. Pero sana ay patuloy nating tahakin ang landas na ito tungo sa kabanalan.